Hello guys, welcome back to GCSE Help. Now today we're going to be doing some computer science for GCSE Edexcel. Now today we're going to be doing some programming. Now today we're going to be looking at loop types and after that we're going to be looking at exam style question. Obviously don't mind the spelling here, loop types, but yeah, so we're going to start. So firstly, we're gonna look at the for loops and how they work. So here in front of us, here we have an example of a for loop. So basically, what a for loop does is it iterates a certain number of times specified by the program. So in this case, it goes from 1 to 6, which means it goes 5 times. Basically, this is the start and this is the stop. The second number stop, first number start. And basically, this will go from 1 to 5. So says for I in range 1 to 6. This means I will increase by 1 each time and it will go up to 5. Now, I know it says 6 here, but for loops actually stop at 5. It just goes up to 6, but stops at 5, if that makes sense. This can be anything, doesn't have to be I. But for I in range, so each time this loop happens, I will increase by 1. So for now, I will be 1. Then it would go through this. Once this if else statements are done, it would go back to the start, and then it would increase I by 1 again, which means it would be 2 this time, and then it would go again, and then 3, 4, and then 5 finally. So if we look at this program here for the for loop, it says if I is smaller than 3, print I, whatever the number is. This is a small number, else print I, this is a big number. So if I is smaller than 3, it's considered small. If it's bigger than 3, it's considered big. So let's just run this program and have a look. So here, this is what we're looking at here on the bottom. Maybe I can just make this bigger. There we go. So 1, this is a small number, 2, this is a small number, 3, this is a big number, and then, yep, until 5, this is a big number. So here it's just looped each time and increased I by 1 each time, and then done the if and else statement. Pretty basic example. So now we're going to move on to while loops. So for while loops, here we can see they set count equal to 1. That is what they use for the while loop. So this says that the loop runs as long as count is less than or equal to 5. So basically, while loops run until, like, based on a certain condition or until a certain condition is met. So basically, it can just go forever and ever and ever, basically, until a condition is met or for a condition. So here we can see this while loop will run while count is less than or equal to 5. So right now count is equal to 1. So basically it can just run forever, and then if count does manage to get to 5 or over, then the loop will just stop, and that's the end of the loop. So if we look at it here, it's another if statement in the while loop. You need your indentation for Python, or else the program won't work. So here it says if count is equal to 3, print count is 3, special case. Else print count is, and then count, whatever the count is. So in this example, count would be 1 because count set to 1 for now. And then here, this piece of code is very important for the while loop. This increases the count by 1 basically. So if you can't really understand this, I find it easier to write it like that. Count equals count plus 1. It just, for me, it's easier to read personally. But these mean the same thing. It increases the value of count by 1, as it says here. So yeah, and this is essential because this will increment count by 1 each time, and obviously it will keep increasing during this while loop until it is bigger than or equal to 5. So it will go once it's equal to 1, then it will increase to 2, Then this if statement will go again. Is count equal to 3? No, because it's 2, else, and then it will print the count, so count is 2, and then finally when it gets to 3, it will say count is 3 special case, and this will keep happening until count is equal until count is equal to 5. So when count is equal to 5, this will still run because it says smaller than or equal to 5. So that means this code will still run, but then now when it increases by 1, 5 plus 1 6, the while loop count will officially be more than 5, which means the while loop will stop running. And that is basically a while loop for you. Now here we have a basic example of if else statements outside of loops. So age is 16. If age is bigger than or equal to 18, you are an adult, else you're not an adult. Yeah, so here they just check the age, not check, sorry, but make a kind of a question: is the age greater than or equal to 18? If it is, then they're an adult, else they're not. So that's just a basic example of an if statement. So now we're gonna have a look at an exam style question. So here we have a question that says a shop wants a program to help with customer purchases. Write a program that asks the user for how many different types of items customer wants to buy. For each item, they need to enter the price. Use a loop to repeat this for the correct number of items. After entering the prices, the program asks the user if they want to apply a discount code. If the customer types something other than yes or no, the program should keep asking until a valid answer is entered. Use a while loop. It gives us a little hint there. If yes, apply 10% discount to the total. Finally, display the cost. Right, so let's give this a try. So here we have the program that I've made for this question, and we're just gonna run through this program step by step. As you can see, we have a while loop and a for loop. So yeah, this is a kind of typical, not typical, but one of the types of GCSE questions you could get. This is probably not one of the last questions, this is probably one of the first questions, but let's get into it. So here it says num items equals int input, how many items you're buying, gets the input from the user, as we can see, and then it sets the total cost equal to 0, because they haven't entered the cost of anything yet, so just declaring the variable. Step 2, for loop to get the prices for iron range num items. So this basically loops for as many items as they have entered that they are gonna buy. So if it's 5, the for loop's gonna run 5 times. Now price equals float. Float is just decimal. Price equals float input. Enter the price of item plus str. So I in this case would just be 1 plus 1. Sorry, I would be 0 in this case. 0 plus 1, which is 1. And then they would enter the first item. So they would enter the price of the first item, which is held as a variable called price, and then total cost equals total cost plus price. So this basically adds the price of the first item to the total cost, so that they can basically add up the number of items, the cost of the items. Okay, so now we have the while loop. So while the discount choice is not equal to, the exclamation mark equals sign means not equal to. So while the discount choice is not equal to yes or no. So this will run if this while loop will run if the user has not entered yes or no, and it will ask them please type yes or no, and then it will get their input again and convert it to lowercase, and then it will obviously check, and then if it's not yes or no, it will keep asking until the user finally enters yes or no. And it doesn't matter if they enter upper or lowercase, because it will convert it. And then yes, when the user finally enters yes or no, it will stop this loop, and basically here after we have this if statement. So if the user entered yes, that they have the discount code, this basically timeses the total cost by 0.9, so the total cost that they've added up before, times 0.9, which basically just applies a 10% discount. It just finds 90% of the original value, which is the same as 10% discount. So this basically is the same as total cost equals total cost times 0.9. It's the same thing. So if you see this and it's a bit confusing, then yeah, that's what it is. And then finally, and then if the users answer no, then obviously it won't do this because the choice will be equal to no. And then finally, we can output the result. So it will go print final total, and then here what it does is actually rounds the total cost to 2 decimal places. Pretty sure. So if we do, how many items are you buying? I'm buying 5 items. Enter the price of the items. So let's just do 2.4, 6, 8, 1, and 4.67. Do you have a discount code? Yes or no? So here we're just gonna type a bunch of waffle. We're gonna keep typing waffle. We're gonna put yep, nope, and as you can see, it's not working because we haven't specifically typed yes or no. And here, if we type it in uppercase, it'll work because it converts it to lower. And then, as we can see here, it basically it doesn't show us what the original price of the item was, but since I said yes, it has done the calculation. It has given us a 10% discount on the total of whatever all of this is together, and it has rounded it to 2 decimal places. Probably the answer that it got for the discount was probably more than 2 significant figures, but when you do use the round function, it will round it to 2 decimal places. As you can see, round the total cost, comma 2. This basically, as we said, rounds to 2 decimal places, and that is basically the code for the exam style question, and this should get you full marks. So that was loops for Python computer science, and that is it for GCSE help for today. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video.